Agurin is on a mission to get to rank 1, and he is full tryhard mode. He has mostly been playing Shyvana in his games and been popping off, but in this game he does pick up Evelynn, and he completely smurfs on top challenger players with it. He completely embarrasses them and makes them look like silver and gold players. If you want to learn how Agurin consistently smurfs in top challenger, keep watching this video. Pay attention to Agurin's eyes. Did you see him glance right there? Right there he was looking at the map from his perspective. The reason he does this is to figure out where the enemy jungler Kindred is starting. Knowing that Kindred started on her red buff, this tells Agurin to be careful when walking into his bottom side jungle in case of an invade. And it also tells him that if Kindred isn't in his bot side jungle, then Kindred is pathing towards the top side of the map. So more than likely Kindred is going to be on the first crab top side, and this is going to leave the bottom side crab open for Agurin uncontested. So now that we know where Kindred is likely to be heading towards, I want to talk about why Agurin is pathing towards bot lane now. So your pathing as the jungler is going to be based upon the lane matchups in your game. And how it works in high elo is that generally, most of the time, high elo junglers will path towards their strong side on the map. So strong side is going to mean which lane is going to get the push and which lane is likely to actually win their lane. So based on the matchups, if you look at top lane Renekton versus Ryze, you can tell straight away that Ryze is just going to shove Renekton into his tower before the game even starts. And then if you look at Agurin's bot lane compared to their bot lane, they should have the push advantage there. Xayah can clear waves a lot better than an Ezreal can, and Janna, if she auto attacks the wave, then Rakan can also answer with his own ranged auto attack on the wave. So his bot lane does have the edge there in the push, and this is why Agurin is going down towards the bottom lane. Because with bot lane push, even if Kindred was pathing down towards the bottom lane, Kindred would not be able to contest the bottom crab simply because of bot lane priority, and it would become a 3 versus 1 versus the Kindred if she would show up there. So you can see everything is playing out accordingly how it should, because this is top challenger gameplay. So Kindred is going to get her top lane crab and Agurin's going to get his bottom lane crab. And now after his full clear, he is looking to gank the middle lane. Drops down a ward here for Kindred's second clear when she recalls, and you can see TF immobile champion pushing up very far. If Evelynn comes in with the flank angle with the charm here, they can just absolutely one-shot him. Ryze does TP trying to turn the situation around. I think it will be a 1-for-1 unless this Renekton with his own TP can come in and turn the situation around. But here comes Kindred with the enemy range advantage. Unless they can one-shot her, this is going to be a bad fight. Kindred does get away from Renekton's stun. They don't get the one-shot, and it looks like Agurin will have to flash. I thought he would die there, but you can see a bad fight for this team. And this is just what happens when you try to gank early on Evelynn, when everyone in the game is aware of where you are, because they are also tracking jungle. Also because he was ganking a weak laner like Kassadin, who isn't very strong early game. You can see Kindred is walking into the Evelynn. Agurin is reading this Kindred's invade from a mile away and is sitting in the bush waiting to come pick this Kindred up. So that's a nice kill there, passed over to the Renekton, and that's going to hopefully start a snowball for Agurin. So after this pickup and these kills, Agurin could look for a recall. He does have a decent amount of gold for a base, but you can see here he is going to finish off these Krugs and head down towards his Raptors. This is going to be because the priority on Evelynn is to hit level 6 as soon as possible. If Agurin recalls right now and spends his gold, well, he's just going to be delaying himself in getting to level 6. He'll be wasting a lot of time recalling, going to base, and then walking back to his camps to actually start the clear over again when he's already here, ready to just continue the clear and go for level 6. So while Agurin is clearing here, going for the level 6, I want to ask you to please subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to get to 1000 subs and to get my channel monetized. If you've learned anything so far in this video, or if you've found any value in this, please do consider subscribing.
I'm struggling. Der struggelt einfach. Ein bisschen.
So Agurin just hit level 6 off of that Gromp, and this is where Eve really starts to shine. You can see he has already identified a gank in a lane straight after hitting 6, and he's already on his way to go kill that Ezreal. Eve has so many gank angles because of her level 6 and passive, and once she does hit 6, she can be a very annoying thing for a laner to deal with. You can see hugging the wall, trying to find the Ezreal there. Ulti's into him. Think this might have been a big mistake from him. They are looking for the Janna now. Will they be able to get out? Rakan does fall there, and I think they're going to have to get out here. There's definitely no way they're going to dive this Ezreal.
Das war bad gespielt von mir, aber das war ja noch schlimmer gespielt.
So you can see that goes poorly simply because Agurin was quite greedy. He didn't respect the fact that Ezreal does have his E, so it has to be a quick instant one-shot before he blinks, or it's no gank or kill at all. And because of him showing up on the bottom side of the map, Kindred responded with diving top lane, which is her strong side. So you can see how important strong sides really are in high elo. So Agurin, after having failed that gank, is on the way back to his full clear route. Kindred is invading him. Kindred's only level 5, Rakan is here, everyone's already expecting this. This is why jungle tracking is so important. And just like this, they're going to pick up that free kill onto Kindred. And hopefully this gets the snowball rolling for Agurin now. Both Twisted Fate and Rise are missing, so Agurin is going to kite this red buff away just to make sure nobody steals it, and then continue with the full clear here. The way jungle works is that if there's nothing for you to really do on the map, there's no gank available, there's no counter gank, there's no counter jungle, then you pretty much just need to be farming. Farming is going to be your most stable source of income, and you can see here, he's already looking for another gank. His ulti is coming up, and with the Renekton's burst and W setup, they can just burst this Rise away. Especially considering that Rise is quite an immobile champion. If one of them lands a CC on him, he's just going to get popped and he's going to have nowhere to run.
Ich glaube, das ist auch einfach.
So it doesn't work out, Rise does back off. Agurin's going to clear this control ward here and look for the TF, I'm assuming. If not, back to his Raptor camp. So you can see he is being very efficient here. He's always on the lookout for a gank, and if there's nothing available, he'll go for his camps. Here you can see he's in position for a counter gank. This is obviously not a good counter gank. Kassadin is already dead, so they're just going to look to trade 1 for 1. Does the combo and just gets out. So nothing really for him to do here. And again, he's looking for the Rise, who's pushed up and vulnerable. Here comes the Renekton stun, charm into it, and this is a quick, easy one-shot, even without the ulti. Agurin knew after Kassadin died that Kindred would invade his Raptors with the Janna and TF and take them. So instead of hanging around there for no reason, Agurin went to top lane straight away to make this play, and now he's recalling back to his bottom side because there is nothing left for him to do on the top side of the map. And also he wants to get back to his bottom lane, his strong side, and keep playing around them, enabling them to keep up the pressure on the enemy bottom lane. And while he's running back to his camps in the bot side, I just want to bring attention to his camera control. If you've been actually paying attention, you can see that his camera is always on his laners. The only time it isn't is when he's clearing his camps. And even so, while he clears his camps, he does glance at his laners. You need to be looking at your lanes a lot. If you are not looking at your lanes, you're not going to be identifying ganks. Anyway, he picks up that blue buff and he identifies straight away. His bot lane has heavy priority, his Kassadin just got priority mid lane, he's roaming, so he's gonna take this opportunity to take the dragon. And maybe they'll even look for a dive on the bottom lane because Kassadin has roamed. However, you can see Kassadin is obviously forcing a play here, because TF does have his ulti, and also Kindred did read this from the Kassadin. Agurin coming in here does put down the charm, but this is definitely not a fight he wants to take. He is 40% HP, his Kassadin's already out of fight, he's very low, and his Xayah is half health and very low mana. You can see he's being very respectful of the invade here, and he is trying to find a pick. He's trying to find a straggler in the backline that he can just one-shot and get out. Janna Tornado clips him, TF gold card comes in, Rakan with a huge 3-man knockup, Agurin with the ulti trying to one-shot someone there, but he absolutely did nothing, he just died. But I think his team will win this fight. And why, you might ask? It's because he's playing with his strong side. If this fight had happened on the top side of the map, I would put my money on them losing it 9 out of 10 times. Unless they had a really good setup where they found CC and were melee range already, then it would just not work out for them. They would get kited, they'd get CC'd, slowed, and it would be a disaster for them. So you can see after that play, Agurin's already on to the next move. He's already seeing this Rise trying to put the pressure onto his Renekton. With his stealth, he's going to run in here and try find the pick. Rise looks like he's going to respect it, so Agurin should continue farming. Except Rise does step up. He is looking for the Renekton. He's baiting the Rise. Here comes Evelynn. Renekton flash, W, and this is just going to be a quick one-shot. And you can see with the Rocket Belt, this Eve is a lot more deadly than with a Night Harvester. You can see this was a very smart buy from Agurin this game. He sees that the enemy is 5 ranged champions. They have a lot of tools to escape from him. So with that Rocket Belt, he'll be able to get into range of them easier and find those one-shots. So finds that one-shot onto the Rise, and he's back to farming here. And this whole time he's going to continue looking for ganks. Takes his Krugs, finishes off that little Raptor. Onto the Wolves. There's nothing else for him to currently do. And he's just going to keep his eye on the map and his eye on his teammates' health bars, see if anything's going down. And if anything does happen, he's going to move and look for the picks. Especially with him having ulti here. Ezreal ulti there, funny clip onto him there. That just reveals where he is. You can see, looks like a bit of action's going on in the bottom lane. He's definitely going to want to rotate here. Kassadin nearly finds the janitor. TF ulti comes through, and he's just showing up here just to prevent anything bad from happening. We can see the Evelynn with the level 6 with 1 item. Clears camps very, very fast, and there's so much time for him to just run around, Rocket Belt at people. Doesn't even need the charm to find these one-shots. And applying a lot of pressure onto Twisted Fate here. He is forced to stopwatch. And he's hanging around. Will TF step up? He is stepping up, and looks like Kassadin's going to pick him up there. Rise coming in here. Should be able to find a quick one-shot if Kassadin doesn't die, but he does. And I think Agurin is going to fall. So let's just speed it up here until he respawns. You can see on the respawn, he is running towards his top side once again because that is where his camps are spawning. We can see a teleport is coming in from behind the Renekton. So Agurin is going to look, can he help this situation out? Can he help Renekton survive? Can they win a fight with Kassadin? Looking at the map, you can see Janna has shown up there, so Agrin's not even bothering to move there. He's not wasting any time inting with his teammates, he's just focusing on his clear and focusing on generating gold for himself. And you can see he is being careful of an invade because we did just see Kindred walking up. So here she is, hugging the wall. He's just going to smite this and get the hell out. He doesn't want to fight with his weak mid laner. And especially not when they have numbers disadvantage. So continuing the farm, generating gold for himself. Being efficient, kiting his camps. Dragon's gonna be spawning soon. We just saw everyone on the top side of the map. So with his mid lane priority that they just got there, you could see, they will look for this dragon. So you can see Agurin does play a very calculated style of game. This is how you can achieve consistent results in your games. If you play consistently calculated, that's gonna be your secret to success. As long as you can consistently make the correct decisions, you don't coin flip, then you'll be on your way. So nothing for him to do right now. Recalls, spends his gold, he's on to his Lichbane now, and ulti is up. Now he's on to his next play. All his camps are already gone, he just one-shot them all really. And now he's looking to come beat this Rise up again with the Renekton. You know, we've seen it before, Renekton just has to dash onto the Rise or flash on him, W him, that sets up Agurin to come in with Rocket Belt and finish him off. So you can see, same thing as always. Looks like a fight's going to be breaking out here. Xayah is caught out of position. Rakan finds the Kindred here. Kindred doesn't have ult, he does get popped there. So 1-for-1 trade there. But it is favorable for them because they did pick off the Rise previously. And they are on the chase. Looks like they're not going to chase anybody, actually. They're not going to catch anyone. So Agurin with this numbers advantage on the top side of the map. He's going to look for Kindred's camps after the crab. Nothing there, so I think he might look for even taking the top tower since Renekton recalled. Might as well take this wave because no one else is around to take this gold. Decides to leave it. He's gonna say, screw this, let's allow the wave to slow push back into our tower. Someone else will collect it like Haston. And he's back to his farming. So you can see he's very, very focused on how is he gonna generate gold. You can see a gank that's worth more than 300 gold. He's gonna take that every day of the week over 100 gold camp. Especially on Evelynn when ganks are so guaranteed because of her stealth and ulti. So picking up the Raptor camp here, and he's gonna continue the clear here. Because he's not seeing anything on the top side of the map to play for.
Vielleicht sollten wir den TF da noch killen.
TF just showed up on the bottom side in the bottom lane, and with Renekton, who we know Agurin is in love with, his W, I think we can expect him to see him run down to his bot lane and just go dive that TF, because we just saw everyone topside recently. So if Renekton just jumps on this TF, this will be the same thing that they've been doing to Ryze. Gets clipped by the Q there, but it doesn't matter. They're just gonna pick this TF up. No ulti required. Renekton just tanks this one. So you can see he did path towards his strong side this game. So he could secure his first crab, get to his level 6 nice and quick, and then he pivoted while he was clearing his camps towards his strong side again, towards ganking the easiest lanes for him to gank, which is where there was setup and where the enemy laners were immobile. So resets, nothing for him to do bot side. Picks up some items, and now he's on the way back to where his top camps will respawn and where the action is going on, where he can find more gold to keep the snowball rolling. You can see 526 already, 132 CS in 19 minutes. He's on the lookout for this Ezreal, for this Janna. They've split up. He is cautious of walking into the bush here just so he doesn't reveal himself. There's Ezreal. He was sitting in there. And just like that, 700 gold picked up just like that with the ulti and the damage from the Evelynn. So gonna pick up this crab, deny the mark from Kindred, and I'd assume he's back on his way to the top side. Take the Herald, take the red buff, if not pass it over. And actually he is gonna recall here for some reason instead of continuing the pressure. Ezreal is dead. Here we go, taking Kindred's red buff. His team's moved in with him. Gonna pick this up. And he is gonna recall because the Herald is gonna be despawning soon, actually. 20 seconds until the Baron's up. He's on his way towards a Void Staff.
Look, this guy's anything.
I'm not too sure about the Void Staff buy. I can't imagine that they're building too much MR. But I think it might just be gold efficient enough for him to pick up the Void Staff. Is he looking for Ryze here? Again, immobile carry. Kindred's here already. Just boom. Flash for flash. Ooh, nearly had him there. Can with the nice ulti coming in. And nice picks there from Agurin. As you can see, very, very obnoxious playstyle Evelynn. You hit level 6 and you just camp people. With your health regeneration, you just keep reganking. It's ridiculous. On his way to the objective. Numbers advantage, and this is exactly how you want to play the Evelynn. 2-level lead, you can see there. Up 30 CS. Up a whole item as well. Over to Kindred. So picks up that dragon and back to farming. This is one trick you can use in your games if you're unsure of what to do in the mid and late game. Just look at the map and see where your teammates are. If everyone's in base like they are now, you should never be trying to invade the enemy. You have to play with your teammates. If you want to invade, you have to be with someone else. Because otherwise, this is how you're going to throw your games, and this is one of the most common ways for lower elos to throw their games. They think, I really need to extend my lead, I'm ahead. They walk into Fog of War, especially by themselves. They end up 1 versus 2, 1 versus 3. They give up 1,000 gold on their death, and the enemy team eventually makes it back into the game because of it. So you can see now that his laners have returned to their lanes. Agurin has changed from farming into looking for a pick and trying to find an invade. If someone shows up to help this kindred in this 1v1, then his teammates will also be around to show up to help with a fight and a skirmish that could break out here. So really nice pick up there. And again, looking for more. Trying not to get too greedy here. He always has his ultimate to get out. Doesn't get too greedy. He's aware of the TF gold card. Flash ulties away. And has nothing else to chase, but his teammates will be able to continue. And I'm not sure if they can find the situation turned around. They do pick up the Ezreal there. It walks up a bit far, but I think they're going to have to let this Ryze go. He's quite low HP. If he gets hit by a rooting, he's going to get blown up by Ryze. So Rakan right there nearly got blown up. And you can see Agurin still looking, still looking. He does have Rocket Belt now, though. So it could work out. He's tracking the Ryze. He's ignoring the wave completely. This Ryze provides way more gold than the wave. Doesn't get that charm proc, so he does back off now. And back to farming when all of his laners are in base and dead. So you can see he's applying pressure when his teammates are on the map and are able to assist, or themselves are applying pressure. So enemy team is starting up the Baron here. Kassadin coming in with the teleport. Agurin jumps in. He's looking for the ulti and smite steal. This is really, really good on Evelynn. Can find this one shot from 2000 HP nearly, finds it there, picks up the Baron, but I don't know if was that the correct decision really. It might have been better if he was just there with his team. Finds the Ezreal here, Rocket Belt straight onto him. He might have wanted to save that Rocket Belt instead for the E. Running away here, but as I was saying, he could have potentially just not used his ulti for the Baron, just walked up forward and used it for killing the enemy team. But the fight does go well anyway, because they are ahead now. Agurin has been completely destroying the enemy team with this Evelynn pick. 9, 2, and 10, carrying his teammates completely. So recall here. Big buy now on the way to his death cap, and at this stage it's kind of just gonna be don't throw the game, don't int, just fight as a team, get those objectives, and work towards closing that game with picks and 1 skirmishes. So clears out his own jungle, and now you can see pressure being applied in the mid lane by Rakan and Kassadin. So he is looking to move in now. He's pinging the wave for someone to pressure, to apply pressure onto the map, one of his laners, and he's in here searching with Rakan. Drops the control ward just to make sure no one is around. They do place down a blue ward here, but you can see he's not destroying it. Because if he destroys it, he's just going to let everybody know that he's here. Same thing with the Rakan. They're just baiting for someone to come clear this ward. And this works a lot, especially in lower elos, where you just drop a ward in front of the enemy, and the support always comes running straight in. But you can see this is not the case in challenger games. They know Evelynn is baiting, and he's just going to continue waiting and waiting to see if there's a pick that he can make. On the flank angle, does get spotted out by the tower vision there, so a little bit out of position there, but you can see very patient gameplay. He's not running all the way back to his top camps to start farming them again. He's just camping and suffocating the enemy. Maintaining pressure, so for objectives like this, the dragon, the enemy just has no way of contesting. Either they have to come contest and flip a fight here that they should lose, or they just give it up and trade for the CS that they would have lost to the tower. Sieging with the Baron buff, helping out with the Renekton. Applying pressure in more places than just one. Looking for one-shots. He has flash, goes in straight away. Exhausted, does not find it. Rocket Belt is still up though for the re-engage. We can see they're holding 2 here. His team is stomping the bot lane. The weaker players, the Kindred, the Rise, who he's been absolutely suffocating all game long. And I think with this, they will end the game. Quite some long death timers. Still 20 seconds on the clock on most of them.
I think Amazon.
If they find the Ezreal here, it's definitely going to be GG. But yeah, they're already destroying these towers. So as you can see, Agurin, calculated gameplay, completely suffocates the enemy team on the Evelynn pick. So anyways, if you did enjoy watching this video, please do subscribe, like mentioned previously. And if you want to learn more about how to play like Agurin or how to climb into high elo, do contact me for coaching. My details are in the description below. Contact me on Discord. Thanks for watching anyways.
Komplett cleanes Game von ihm, not gonna lie. Es war einfach von vorne bis hinten extrem sauber. Plus 15 nur. Alright.